everyone. I'm Kristen Gabriel, and I am the Administrative Assistant to the Associate Vice President, Dr. Black, at Utah State University, Brigham City.
And I'm Tiffany Mansfield. I am the Administrative Assistant in the front office, and I assist the Director of Students, Jill Rasmussen.
We are here at Ricardo's restaurant in Brigham City on Main Street, right across the street from Smith's. We have been spending a lot of time on our social media presence this summer, and one of the ideas that I had recently was to have more conversations with our students and our alumni about what college is really like for the typical college student. I guess not so typical college student as well.
Yeah, like any college student.
Yeah.
So here's Indepth, our awesome waitress.
Hello.
How long have you worked here, Indepth?
Well, I've been here for, I could say already 4 years. I moved here from California. And I'm happy here. I like it. I can start fresh, start over, and I found cozy little Brigham, and it's awesome.
Awesome.
My personal favorite are the chicken enchiladas and green sauce. Those are my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
But everybody has a different taste. However, the chile rellenos are the best too.
Okay.
But everybody has their own taste.
Okay.
A lot of people get the combination, but that's a pretty big plate. You can have leftovers.
Yeah.
If you don't want to cook at night, if you're that type of person that doesn't like to cook, number 13 is the way to go.
Okay.
You get half here and then half later on. And
Totally.
You don't have to cook.
Okay, so have you heard of Utah State here in Brigham City? Do you know where our campus is?
No. Oh, yeah. Yes, the
That
college.
big new building?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Okay, you should come in for a tour. We'll give you some Aggie ice cream.
Oh, for us? Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, Kristen, what are you going to get?
So what are we having today?
Okay, I think I'm going to get the two taco plate. So I want to introduce this segment. It's called Let's Talk About It Tuesdays. Let's Talk About It Tuesday is for us to have a conversation about all things pertaining to college.
We just have both been college students, and I don't know about you, but like I had a lot of things that I wish I would have known, but I didn't even know to ask. I didn't even know that I needed to know it, but it would have been really helpful. And as we see students come into our Brigham campus, they're students that are right out of high school, they're concurrent students, they are students that are coming in on nights because they work full-time during the day, they are moms, dads, just a ton of variety. And we want to make sure that our students know that we are here to answer questions and we've been in their shoes before, and we just want everybody to have like the best resources possible to make it a good college experience. So
I agree.
I love Kristen's idea. I think
Yeah.
it's so cute.
We're so excited. This is this is new. This is our first episode, and we're really excited to bring this to you. So what better way to talk about this than over tacos? Because tacos make life better, don't they?
Yeah, for sure.
I think so. So,
especially good tacos.
yes.
Not the tacos you make at
okay,
home.
So I will say that the place we're at, Ricardo's, they have some really good tacos, which is actually what I ordered. So I'm excited for them to come.
Okay, so even though Kristen and I are both USU graduates, we had very different college experiences. What year did you graduate?
I graduated in 2001 from Box Elder. Go Bees. And I went straight up to Utah State. I lived with roommates for a year, and then I got married and continued college life up in Logan as a married college student, living in the family housing. Is that what they call it? Family housing. So that I did have a little bit of experience as I guess you would say, single person my first year, and then a married student, but I still had the typical college experience with life on campus.
Okay, so you wanted to be a kindergarten teacher,
Yes.
but that's not your degree.
No, it is not.
So what changed?
What changed was I attended a family finance class, and this family finance class was taught by Elena Johnson.
I had that class too.
Yeah, you did?
Yes,
Isn't
okay.
it the greatest class?
Well, this is what I remember. I remember her having a video of her family, and she made a pie, and you could tell she was just like this pie-making mama, you know? So she made a pie, and she, talked about how
budgeting is like a pie.
Yeah, because if you
Slice.
give everybody a slice, then everybody gets a slice. But wait, what was it? Crap.
You know what? I graduated in 2005, so it's been a long time. I don't know exactly
Well, it
what
was
she said,
basically
but-
like you have to tell your budget where your money is
Yes.
going, else you'll
Yes.
run out.
Yes.
Just like if
managing your budget before it manages you.
Yeah. Anyways, that's funny. I had that class in 2014.
Wasn't she great? It's
Yeah.
so funny. She, from what I understand, is still there. So if you ever get a chance to take Family Finance from Elena Johnson up on main campus, which I don't know if she broadcasts, but it would be really nice if she did broadcast to Brigham. We also have Christy Lynn Wilkinson. She is one of our Brigham City region faculty members. She teaches Family Finance.
Okay.
She is located she teaches from Kaysville, but they do broadcast. So so I took that class, and it was a life changer. And so I changed my major from early childhood education to family, consumer, and human development with the emphasis in family finance, all because of Mrs. Elena Johnson.
Okay, which I think is funny and a good thing to bring up, because I remember when I started college, you have to take like the breadth and the depth classes and stuff, right? And I just thought, I don't want to take any of these classes because I do not like science. And so a lot of those were, or part of those were you had to pick a science class. And I just thought, no, like I already know what I want to do. I just want to take my classes. But that changed your whole trajectory.
It
and
did.
I had that
It did.
experience too. Not necessarily in that way, but I've always been like terrified of writing essays. And I had like English 10-10, English 20-10, like you have to write an essay in every class, but I just always felt like I could not write a like well-researched or well-expressed essay. And I had to take this evolution class was one of the choices that I could take. And I'm like, well, that sounds like the best choice out of all these. So I took it, and the content actually was surprisingly interesting to me, but this professor, and I wish I could remember his name because he was so fantastic. He was an evolution teacher, and he taught me more about writing essays than any teacher had.
Really?
Oh yeah, he like gave us feedback on our essays, and then he even wrote up this whole document for me to read, and I printed it out, and I still have it on file like for my kids because it was just so valuable. So
Very helpful.
especially for people that don't know what they want to major in, like those classes are like really helpful, but they even help people that do know what they're doing. So
They really
I
are.
see the value in it now.
Yes, there is a reason for these classes. Although when you're a freshman and sophomore in college, you may feel like, when am I ever going to get to my in-depth classes, my major classes?
Yeah.
So,
Cool.
but it's definitely worth it. So, what was your major?
Well,
Or your majors?
yes, exactly. So my brother actually gave me some really good advice that I did not take. He said, decide on a major and then finish it. And then if you want to go back and change your mind later, that's fine, but at least you'll have a degree. And I didn't understand that at the time because I was still younger, thinking, well, I've got to do exactly what I want to do. And now I realize, like, you could probably be happy with quite a few things,
Yeah.
There's a lot of different options, and it is important to find what you're going to be fulfilled with, but there might not just be like one thing, And I'm the type of personality that I like a lot of variety, a lot of different things. And so I would not advise this, but I started out majoring in nutrition from Weber State.
Okay.
Well, I went to Utah State, but then we moved, and so Weber State was the closest. I know. Don't judge me. I come back. Don't worry. I come back. And then I got married, and so we moved back up here, and I went to Utah State. And then I'm like, okay, I want to do the music program. So I did that for one semester, and it was so awesome. But like, I had to practice the piano for 3 hours a day, and I was like, there's no way I'm going to do this for 4 years. Yeah. So then I started having kids. So I sprinkled in classes here and there. I finally got my associate's degree from Utah State. And then I moved to Cedar and went to SUU, which is where I actually got a scholarship, but I didn't take it because I ended up waiting. When I was down there, I moved back to nutrition, but we moved back home before I was able to finish that. So anyways, I came back, and I was just to the point where I'd taken so many like family, consumer, and human development classes because they were convenient. but I loved them. And so when I moved back here, those were the classes that I was most interested in and actually would get me a degree the fastest. And so I changed so many times, and it's kind of sickening because I spent a lot of time and a lot of money and a lot of energy, and I have way too many extra credits that like I didn't even use. So like if I were to do things differently, I would take my brother's advice. I honestly think it's really good advice because, you know, you and I, neither of us are really using our degree for what it was intended right now. We have in the past, but we have a degree. Like I just got this job this year and I couldn't get it without a degree, and it didn't necessarily matter what it was in, but it was a degree and it's important.
And I find, did you find that some of those things that you learned were very helpful in your family life, your home life?
Oh my heck, so much. Like every class I took, like one time I took like a marriage class, and then I took like a child development class, and I was a mom at that time. And so it was just interesting because even though I maybe should have done things differently, like those classes were so spot on to exactly what I needed right then. So yeah, like part of me is like, I'm glad I did that because every class I just learned something from. And honestly, like every class you take in college, if you like just do your best, even if you're not interested in the subject necessarily, like you're going to learn something from it. Just like I learned how to write an essay out of my evolution class, you know?
Yes.
So, yeah.
Definitely. I do think that if I were to go back as an adult, well, I was an adult, I guess, but I didn't feel like an adult when I first went straight to college right after high school. But if I were to go back now, I think my grades would probably be better, and I think I would have better study habits.
Yeah.
So not that I wish I would have waited, but I can definitely see the difference between going right. I don't know where I'm going with this.
Yeah, like there's like a sense of urgency when you're like I did it with kids and as
you
a
had
single
a
mom.
reason to,
And so I was like,
your purpose in your mind was different because when you start school, especially as an 18-year-old, you are this person, but then when you graduate from college, you're a completely different person.
Yeah.
Your experience change you, your interests change. So one thing I want to say is, it's okay if you change your mind. It's okay if you change your mind multiple times. Don't let that stop you from, keep on chugging along.
Yeah, I agree with what you're saying, but I also think it's really wise to sit down with, like, really take the time. It's hard to think about this when you're 18 and 19, to think about the rest of your life. But if you were to really take the time to sit down with your academic advisor, talk to other people that have graduated with this same degree, decide, just try to do some like research before so that you're not just kind of winging it,
Right.
You're going to get there eventually, but
Yeah.
I guess it just depends on your goals. I think if I would have taken the time to really sit down and think about what I wanted instead of what sounded good in that semester or whatever, it would have saved me so much time and money, even just, you don't really listen to people when they tell you things. I don't think,
Not as an
people
18-year-old,
are going to do what they're going to do, which is fine. But just to, it would have been awesome to have my parents sit down with me and be like, okay, so this is where you'll end up with this degree, or, even if it's not your parents, if they don't really know, just find someone that can kind of mentor you.
Yeah, that's what's
it's
great.
good to change your mind, but it's okay, but try to be a little more focused than.
Yes. Well, one of the things that I wish I had done was when I went up to Logan campus, I felt like a little fish in a big ocean. And I only visited my advisor one time. And it was my junior year in college, just to make sure I was on track. And luckily, I did stay on track pretty well, but had I think that I would have probably done better. I guess for direction wise, those advisors are there to help you. We have great advisors at the Brigham campus. We advisors up on main campus and all that. But yeah.
Did you know you can also look on, is it DegreeWorks?
Mm-hmm.
So if you go into your banner, you can look on DegreeWorks and type in what you, like, if you're thinking about changing your major, you could type in what you are thinking about changing, and it will list all your classes too. So like an advisor,
Yes,
is super helpful.
all
But
the
you can
required
also
classes.
do some research yourself before that, which I think is really handy.
Yeah.
So if you were to go back and do it again, your college experience, what would you change?
Exactly what I had just said. I would have gone to my advisor at least every semester. They would have helped me stay on track. I probably would have decided what I wanted to do sooner than what I did. And I don't think I would have felt as lost up on campus.
I know,
So
honestly,
that's what I
like,
would have done.
there's no reason anyone should feel lost at all in college
No.
because there are so many resources and so many people. I mean, us at Brigham, I love it when people call in and ask questions. And even if I don't know the answer, I like to figure it out and to help them. Like, somebody called today and was having a problem with their financial aid. And I'm not a financial aid advisor. I can't advise them. But, like, talking with the financial aid office gave me, like, a better picture of how I could help, like, the next person, you know, or direct them, like, where to go. But there's so many people that work for Utah State, and our only purpose is to help the students.
Our students.
Yeah.
It is. It really is. I will say I love our community in our little USU Brigham City Tremont community. All the staff members, the faculty members, they're fantastic, and they're all wanting to help. They're all wanting to help. And I don't think it's as overwhelming going to coming into our building as maybe if you're going up on campus. But please just go see an advisor.
Yeah. That's really helpful.
So how about you? What is something that you wish you had done differently that you haven't brought up, I guess?
I don't know if I said this before, but, like, I really, really, really wish that I would have had the living with roommates experience, even if it was terrible. Like, I just don't know what that will be like. And once you get married, like, you don't go back and live with roommates, you know? So, like, that's your chance. And, you know, I had other experiences, which was great, but that's one thing I always, I hear people talk about it, and I just think that would be so fun, you know? Like, you guys did really fun stuff on campus, like the Howl and stuff like that?
We did. We attended the Howl. And for those of you that don't know what the Howl is, it's this giant Halloween party that they host on campus. And my roommates and I, we decided we were all going to dress up as the Spice Girls.
Nice.
And it was so much fun. I have a picture somewhere that I may have to pull out.
We should
find it. It was so much fun. It was a lot of fun. They have dances up there. I don't know with the recent pandemic how that's going to work, but if you get a chance to attend those dances, even my husband and I, after we got married, we attended the dances up on campus.
So, like,
and they're pretty neat.
Like a dance, like homecoming in high school.
Yes.
Like, you have dances like that.
Yes.
Like, you dress up.
Yes.
Ah.
So we went to homecoming. I remember my husband and I, when we were engaged, we went to homecoming.
Were you the homecoming queen at college, Kristen?
Oh, I felt like it. I felt like it. But they have it in the TSC, which is the main building up on campus there. And the fun part is every single room, like the larger rooms, had a different genre of music going. It was a different theme. So it wasn't just one big room, but like the entire building was a dance. And so you'd go into one room and it's like ballroom dancing. You'd go into another and
Serious?
it's like,
Oh my gosh, that is so fun.
And so it was a lot of fun. And I went as I guess I was engaged when I went, but I also went as a married woman as well. And so it was fun, single or married. But going to football games, basketball games, any activities. When I was with roommates, we would have ultimate frisbee out on the lawn in front of our apartment complex, and there's just activities everywhere. And even if there aren't the same type of activities that they're used to doing, there's still going to be activities this year.
Yeah.
I know. They're coming up with all sorts of fun stuff, whether it's virtual or not.
Yeah. Well,
But it was a lot of fun.
that does sound so fun. I mean, but if you're not the type of person that likes activities, that's fine too. You don't have to. But yeah, that does sound really fun. Well, we're hoping that our Taco Bout It Tuesdays are going to be something where you can relate with some experiences that we share. We're going to have guests on here to talk about all different kinds of subjects. So if you have something that you're curious about or something, leave us a comment and let us know, and we'll try to incorporate that. Because basically we just want it to be super casual, just fun,
Just a
but like,
discussion over tacos.
yeah. I mean, what's not fun with tacos? But we do hope it's relatable because, just like we said, like everybody has a different college experience, and at Brigham, you know, it's different than being up on campus, and so we would love to hear, you know, your experiences too. We're hoping that this sheds some light on the fact that we all have a different college experience, but as long as you're an Aggie, you're doing it right.
Go Aggies.
Yeah.